You'll love it when a plan comes together.
I feel like you should take a picture of it and make it a meme and make it be, this is how you change oil, right?
Yeah, you want to look at the bottom, make sure it's not cracked or anything. This is how you do it. So, monkeying with the 3910 and realizing it's demons, we'll say. Taking my earplugs out so I can hear how loud I'm yelling. So anyhow, I hammered the bucket back straight here. And a lot straighter over here. It was pulled way out. So there's actually a crack right here that needs welded. One there. It's actually cracked the whole way up around. Well, that looks like that might just be paint. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but it looks like it's cracked to me. Right there, it definitely is. Yep, you guys can see it there, but anyhow, I was looking at these loader pins because they're really worn. This side over here actually had some kind of grease in it. And this side over here, the grease fitting was broke off in. Check this pin out. Wow. Impressive, ain't it? So, I actually put the old backhoe pins out of my Yanmar in here, actually. And what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to drill a hole on the inside too, and I'm going to put 2 snap over pins in them, and that's going to be a whole lot better than what it was. And what this loader really needs is it needs bored out and some sort of bushings put back in it, some sort of inserts, and the other thing it needs a boss welded on the inside in here too. See, on the other side they had some sort of conglomeration welded in there. This was welded in there to try and take up some of the slop in there, which it takes up about half of it. But really it's missing a boss on the inside, and that's why the pins are so worn on the inside, because it's only on that thin strip of steel instead of on a wide boss. So really this bucket needs a whole lot of work, which I kind of knew. I'm really not in the mood to take it off right now, so I'm just gonna swap some pins, drill some holes, and that'll make it better for a little while. I'm gonna have to drill and tap for new grease fittings, because it had grease fittings down in here, but this loader will actually roll back far enough to break them grease fittings. So I'm kind of weighing my options here, because I could drill and tap for a grease fitting at an angle like right here down in the center, and that would be better than nothing, but what are you gonna do? I mean, the only place that has grease fittings is right there on the curl cylinders. There is no grease fittings up in here, near as I can tell. Unless you guys see something, I really don't. And there is grease fittings back here. I will go get my... I think I did hit all the grease fittings when I first bought this tractor, but that's been months ago at this point. So just trying to fix things as I'm going along here. Eventually I'll have enough footage I can do a 3910 video, which I'm in the process of. So alright, so eventually here I'm gonna have to get the welder out and go to this thing, and the tire chains are a whole mess in themselves. So anyhow, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon, so let me get some holes drilled in this, and it's the last day I probably have off for the week, so some holes drilled, get these pins put back in here, and go from there. And let the camera charge. So guys, I can't remember if I made a video of this before or not, but here's some of the bucket pins out of the 3910. This one here was the lower left pin, and it's pretty bad. It's worn pretty bad, and it's bent. This was the right lower pin, and both these two pins here, the grease fittings were broke off for. So I drilled them out and added some grease fittings back in. And this was the cylinder on the left side. You can see it's worn pretty good where the cylinder was. Again, no grease fitting. Amazing. So, anyhow, I made up some new pins. They're actually the, well, right now they're the same size as the Yanmar pins. As you can see, the bucket is still The bucket is still extremely worn. It's missing a boss on the inside on all of them. That's why there's so much space in here. It needs a boss like over there, over here. So, in all honesty, I mean, I could get a boss and weld it onto the bucket. So all I did was leftover pins from the Yanmar. I just put holes in both ends and put some pins in them to retain them, and I drilled out the broken grease fittings that are right there. I think them grease fittings were broke out because the pins had so much play. So needless to say, the loader's a lot tighter. I went through and greased everything that is greasable on the front end, like the wheel hubs, the spindles, any grease points on the steering. You guys can hear my heater running out of fuel, but I tightened up all the loader mount bolts, which actually stiffened the loader up a lot. I'm going to tell you guys that, but next thing I'm going to do is the steering. Yep, heater finally ran out of fuel. I'm going to do the steering and the loader mounts here. I just have to bite the bullet and come up with something for these loader mounts, because I got to do something better than that. And I got to go to Harbor. I think I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and pick up a bunch of repair links for these chains. Don't realize how heavy them chains are until you're trying to hook them one-handed. There you go. But basically what it's doing is, see, it's uncrimping all these ends, and then the links can just fall off if they get just a little bit loose. So pretty much to my best ability, I'm going to try and fix that, because the chains are decent. Now I have broke a cross link or two, but they're definitely a handy thing to have for this tractor, because without it, especially where the tires are right now, it is worthless. Back blade worked good this morning. So yeah, I think I got enough to put together for a 3910 video here. And yeah, I'll just kind of call it with that for right now. I had the camera charging all afternoon from using it most of the morning. So alright guys, gonna be it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later. Well, been out here putting repair links in the chains, and the only thing I'm trying to decide if I want to go along and get rid of all the hooks or not, because that's going to be a lot of hooks. So not quite 100% sure what I'm going to do there, but I'm still missing well, I'm missing 5 total, but 1, try and block you guys from the wind there, I don't know if I can, but 1, the cross links actually broke, so technically I'm missing 4, so there is 4 of these cross links somewhere throughout this yard, buried somewhere in the mud, but the likelihood of finding them, very slim, very slim. So I'll roll with what I got. I got them put together pretty good, and I don't know if I'll stick them back on the tractor or not. I've been kind of up in the air about that. There's a set of tires at the local online auction place that I'm going to attempt to get that are 2 brand new tires. So if I can score those up, it'll be pretty good. But these babies, I mean, they's bald. You guys can see them. There is maybe that much tread in the center. So anyhow, gonna be a short one for now. Probably I think I'll probably kick the doors open in the shop for a little while and just kind of let the air blow through there and see where I end up. I already had the Jeep running this morning. I took the battery out of this and put back in it. Now it's kind of chattering, but I think it needs new cables, because these are Obviously pretty ugly. So, anyhow, come back to you guys in a bit. Alrighty guys, so just for reference, here's the difference between the two tie rod ends and drag links. From what I'm measuring, there's roughly 2 1/4 inches different between where the hole in the left is and where the hole on the right one is here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the old drag link. Yes, you heard me right. I'm going to cut it, flip the hole around. I'm going to cut the chunk out that I need with the right spacing, flip it around, and weld it back together. That is my idea, and that is what I am going to do. Since I cannot obtain or buy the correct part, I have bought 2, and they have been wrong. So, as my uncles would say, if you can't raise the water, lower the bridge and make what the hell you want. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do some measuring, some marking, and I'm going to cut this thing and turn it around. And then tomorrow night I'm going to weld it back together at work. So anyhow guys, I'll let you know how it turns out. So today on this episode of If You Can't Buy What You Want, You'll Make What You Want, and you'll be a better person for it. So we now have a drag link with a hole at roughly 21 and a half, roughly. And basically it pretty closely matches this other side. I'm not going to say it's off 1/8 of an inch or something, but it's going to be a heck of a lot closer than it was. So yeah, maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, I'll get this thrown on the tractor and see how it goes. I got an auction. Well, I don't have to go to the auction, but there's an auction going on tomorrow. I'm going to be there. So hopefully tomorrow, change out the power steering cylinder, the radius arm, and put on the new improved drag link iron. See what happens, guys. So stay tuned. See if we fixed it or not. I'm really hoping we fixed it. I really don't want to buy two more cylinders. I really don't. I got more money in this thing than I care to admit to right now. So later, guys. So if you can't buy what you want, you'll build what you want. Hole in the correct location. Love it when a plan comes together. Alrighty guys, so there's the difference on how much I changed it. That's where the hole was before, right where the ram is. I haven't moved this ram. And there's where it is now. So hopefully that'll work right and it'll be more equal to the other side. So that's about all I'm going to do for tonight. And like I said, I'm going to go check out the auction. Alrighty guys, got it all put together. Seems like everything's working. Sir, I just kind of got to remember to just be careful with it. So I guess here's the real test. Let's sit it down and see if it works. Still kind of binds right there. It is sitting still, so I don't know. It's what this side wants. I don't know. As long as I don't bend the ram, I guess. Keep going for a while, so. Alright guys, I'm going to tighten up some lock bolts and stuff, and I'm going to call it a night. The only thing I'm going to do, turn the wheels straight ahead and see if I got the toe end set about right. Boy, they're real close. They're both turned to this side just a little bit. Now I got it that way a little. Well, they're both tilted the same direction, so it's real close. Okay, I'm gonna have to tighten down some lock bolts, and we'll just go for a little drive and see what happens here. So went on a test drive and everything seemed to check out okay. I guess I didn't take a video while I was doing that, but anyhow, I come out here and fixing some cracked welds and some cracks I found on this bucket, just to try and keep it from pulling apart any further. Because see, actually, that's cracked right there. I can get my fingernail underneath that weld, so I'll have to get the paint off of that, but looking better.